Hey,
All
how we
right.
doing, Denver? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you. I'm happy that we're doing another power session here on the more of the operations side of it, some of the project management tools today. So we'll be going through the punch list and the issue tracking and kind of some of the settings that we can set up with it, and then just kind of best case use um, of each one of those modules. So we are excited to get to go through this with y'all. And if anyone has any questions, throw them in the chat. We'll be sure to answer them as we go along.
I like it. Love when we get in the PM side of things. So let's kick it off and see how we start one of these punch list items. If you want to touch on that first.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to start here. So now, obviously, I'm showing this in the web version of this. These will be available on the app side of things as well. But I want to go through it more on the web version just to kind of showcase what it looks like from this point of view. So any of the jobs that you guys are working on, obviously, anyone who's familiar with a lot of the documentation, we're just going to click into any of our jobs from the home screen, which will take us to our landing page of the job. And then if we're looking over on the left-hand side, all of the different tools that you have available on the project management side, we're going to start with the punch list option here. And what it'll bring you to is a list of all the outstanding and even completed ones by default. If we wanted to filter these out, we most certainly can, just by using the filters at the top, either based on status, who it's assigned to, or if we wanted to filter it based on the due date of each one of those documents. So if we wanted to just see, what are the ones that are going to be due this week or last week, we can filter those out as well. Now, with a lot of the features within the project management side, we'll have export capabilities that will be able to spit this out into the punch list or all punch list, but this will put this out to our PDF version of the punch list log here. So let's go through. We'll start with one of the existing ones here. So if we click into any of them from here, we can see what we'll be able to list out the title of it, who it's assigned to, the CC. Now all of these can be picked from either the ProNovos users or who is listed in the company contacts for the job. For those that might not be aware of where that's at, within the overview page on the team tab is where we can start defining all of the individual people that are going to be associated with this project, whether it be the customer, whether it be any of the subcontractors, but we can list them all out here, and then we would be able to assign or, be able to email these directly from ProNovos to, whoever we pick here.
Perfect. Yeah, I know it's been a common question where that list actually pulls from, so good to know.
Yes. So the due date, pretty straightforward. Location. Now, these are just free form text fields, so feel free to type in what you need to for the location or the description. Now, the LinkedIn drawings, I do want to showcase some of the functionality here with how we can link punch list items into the drawings. I'll get to that in just a second, but if it is linked, it'll tell you which one. And obviously, if we click into it, it would take us to that specific drawing. And then it would showcase any punch list references that we have on these drawings here. So I guess while we're already here, if we want to reference, if you're in your drawings, you've got it pulled up, we can utilize this punch item option here. And then you would be able to click it in here. Now to link it, you can just type in the number, right? So I think it was 6, right? Oh, this one's already linked. So we can link one of our non-linked ones here, but click it, it references it. And that way, when you're looking at any of your punch list items here, it would show that in the reference.
Cool, nice and easy.
Yeah, attachments, pretty straightforward. If we want to, throw in any image files. You can drag and drop, upload them, just be sure of the file limit there. And then the bottom here will show kind of all the history. So kind of your audit trail of this particular document. Once we have entered it in, we've saved it, it's going to go into kind of that open status, if you will. So this will be so if we just said new punch list, we've got our copies in here. We've got our due date, description. Let's say whether we throw attachments in here or not. But if we just save it, what that will do is give us our new punch list item here. From there, we can mark these as complete right from the window here. You can also click into the document where you would be able to see kind of that audit trail like we were talking about, where you can email it out or mark it complete from within the form itself. So if you wanted to put any other notes or attachments and then mark it complete, you most certainly can. Once it's marked as complete, I guess it's not fully done, it's not fully finished until we hit the approve button down at the bottom. So that way, if there is some sort of back and forth that needs to happen when we add these into the system, we can approve them. And from there, we would see when it's created, when it was completed, and who approved that punch list entry in ProNovos. So this one, we have it all filtered out. So let's go back to all. And then we can see that punch list number 11, it was completed and it was approved. So for this piece of it, I think pretty straightforward. You do have the ability to edit it. You can remove these if given permissions to be able to, and then the PDF option would allow you to download a PDF copy of that punch list. Now, as far as the settings are concerned, since we're in this project specifically, you can put in who your defaults are going to be as far as who is assigned to, and anyone we're going to copy on any of the email correspondence out of ProNovos as well. So just be sure to click on the settings icon at the top. And then that way, when you're adding a new punch list, you'll see that those contacts will automatically populate into each one of those documents for this job. Right. So let me just make sure. Okay. So I think for punch list, I think pretty straightforward. As far as what you can filter, what kind of tracking mechanisms you have available to you when entering these into the system. And it just gives you a nice place to store all of the attachments or any sort of other documentation that goes along with it. So then our other topic for today is going to be the issue tracking. Now, one thing I do want to point out before we get into the issue tracking is there are some admin settings available for a little bit of customization of these issue tracking documents. So under the administrator, given you have access there, you can scroll on down to the issue tracking section. Now, each of these impact and root causes, these will allow you to customize or even get rid of any of the existing ones. But if you wanted to create any new ones, you can click the add, you can label what the impact reason is, and then what icon you want to use. So you have a couple different options to add as many of these as you need to. So same thing with the root cause. And then over on the right hand side, these custom fields would just be anything else that we want to track in our issue tracking. So how it works, the top option is going to create the category, right? Material, test, and last test. And then within each one of those categories, you can add different options underneath them. And then if you want to reorganize these any which way, that way when you're creating new documents, it'll be in that particular order. So just wanted to make sure that as you're going through the entry of these, you do at least know that the admin settings are here where you can customize those. Okay. So on the job itself, same thing down the left-hand side, issue tracking, we would be able to add in our new entry here a lot of the same information that you're going to see with a lot of the different documents. Give it a title, right? When it was created, this will obviously default to today. Current status, whether it's an open issue or a resolved issue, we can manage that as the job progresses. Who it's assigned to, who it's copied, and then when we need our issue to be resolved as of. So, right, if we want to put in any sort of date in here, say I need it done by the end of the month, and we can say we need it done by 8 o'clock. We can fill that out. And that way you can at least sort it based on when these are due. Okay.
Will the assigned to user receive a notification for that?
Say that again, Garrett.
The assigned to user, will they receive something so they know to go in and take it from there?
They would be able to log right into the system, go to the issue tracking, and then they would be able to filter out any of the issues that are on the job, just all of them, or be able to filter out who it's assigned to.
Noted.
So description, attachments, straightforward there. And then this is what I was referring to with the custom fields, right? So we've got our materials. We can create different types of, this one being just a free form text field. We can create yes, no's. I think there's a drop-down option. Yeah, a selector for dates. So you do have a couple different options in the admin settings to further build out what kind of information you want to track on these issue tracking forms. Okay. Now the item breakdown, basically, what's the scope of the issue? We can list out, our different items here. If there's going to be a schedule impact or a cost impact on the job. Now these will be able to be seen here once again on the mobile devices as well. So then if we wanted to say, here's our 3 issues on this particular entry form, maybe it's just an attention required. Maybe there is schedule impact, cost impact. We can select as many of these as need be, add in any further descriptions to better explain the impact of this issue. And then any further root causes, yes, we have a cost impact. Maybe it's just poor job site conditions, right? Or we have wrong material, rework, etc. You can build these out as well. Okay. Once you save them, then you would be able to track the status of all of these documents here. And then as we go to complete these, we can click into any of these, upload any images. We could use the description field as maybe the resolution of the issue, but just give any sort of update to the issue itself. Once it's been marked as completed, then obviously they will kind of float to the bottom here, but this will keep a track of all the open items versus anything that is completed within ProNovos as well. Okay. And then you do have the option to either just generate a PDF version of this, or you can send out an email, and that would be based on who is entered up here at the top. I think we have.
I like it. Pretty straightforward.
Question here is, can an issue and issue tracking populate in the daily report under the work impacts? At the current moment, the issue tracking is tracked separately from the daily report. Now, what I have seen some people do is they're in the work impacts, you do have the attachment option. So if we want to kind of put it all in the same spot, we can get a PDF copy of the issues here, and we could upload them directly to that particular day in the attachments here. Otherwise, you would be able to, you would just navigate over to the issue tracking and see everything that's listed out there. All right. So, okay, that was all right. So any questions, comments, concerns? We got a couple minutes here that we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have, but as always, we'll have a recording of this put up on our on our website, and then if you guys want to access this later, you'll be able to as well.
Looks like you got one more there from Bill.
Oh, does the user receive an email notification when an issue is assigned? I don't believe, I can test it out real quick. I don't believe that we currently, where is it? There we go. I save this.
I think it's come up a few times. I don't believe they do.
I don't think so. I don't think, no. To answer your question, we do not have it right now where it'll send any sort of email notification that any of the issues have been assigned to that individual. So at the current moment, we would be able to just see them directly in the system. But that is a good question, that something that we can look at, maybe adding in a future update.
Yeah, I know something like that has come up before. Maybe when you log in, you have like a portion of the home screen that's like a task assigned dashboard, and you maybe have like a red flag or something. You've been assigned this. I don't know, just outside the box thoughts on maybe something we could look into further.
Yep, absolutely. Right.
So over a few minutes order, but thanks for your time today, Denver, and thanks everyone else for hopping on.
Yeah.
And I believe we're back in 2 weeks for AR and AP. So get back to the financial side.
That's right. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Garrett or myself, and we'll be more than happy to help out. But we appreciate you guys sitting in with us today, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.
Thanks all. Have a good rest of the week.
Yep.
Thanks,
Take
D.
care. All right. Bye.
Bye.